I'm on my new sailboat. Hey everybody, what am I doing in a camper? I'm gonna pan around here, show you. I'm in a camper right now in Houston, Texas, and you're probably seeing this on sailingvamoose.com or Sailing Vamoose on Facebook or whatever platform it is. But if you're interested in sailboats, we'll continue that story. But for now, I'm going to explain why I'm in Houston, Texas on a sailboat. I mean, on a in a camper. Sorry, I got sailboat on the brain right now. I'm actually cooking. I got to show you a little bit here. I'm getting ready to cook some great pork chops and some stir-fry veggies. So after Hurricane Ian, I was continuing my 10-year run at a kitchen and bath showroom, and all of a sudden it seemed like 2008 again. Things started slowing down. I spent pretty much everything I had on getting the moose back to where we just didn't have to walk away from her. And then I needed to keep cash flowing, so I went to work with a company in Houston selling generators because of a bunch of storms that had been coming through. So that's where I'm at currently, is in Houston with Dudley and Dolly, Dudley the Bulldog and Dolly the Beagle. They're with me, and we're out here just having fun. For some reason, I love being in a tight space. I love the tight space of the moose. I love the sailboat being mobile. There's something just, magical about being in a space, a living space that you can take with you and that you can go wherever it goes. I love having a house. I have my little house in North Carolina, but there's just something about being on the go that I absolutely just love. And so we're here. It's hot in Houston. I have one air conditioner. I've got this camper as a way to save money while I'm out here working. It's about half price of what staying in a hotel would be. So I just bought a used camper. It's in pretty good shape, but we've had some things, obviously, as with any sailboat, as with any kind of piece of equipment that you have, we've had some things that fix, but overall it's pretty good. And I'll just show you around a little bit if you want to see some of it. I'm going to flip the camera around. I introduce you to Dolly. Where's Dolly? You see the dog's plates there. There's Miss Dolly. Hi, Dolly. This is Dolly the Beagle, and she is shy, and she is just a beautiful young lady. And Dolly is glad to be with me because Dolly is a rescue, and she is just so good. I remember the first day that I got Dolly. I'll post a picture of it in a minute. Somebody, and I won't even say where, but somebody had 75 beagles, and they were keeping them in rabbit cages, and they had never ever been out of the rabbit cage that we know of, maybe once. But when I got her, we tried to crate train her, and that did not go so well, because when I came home that day, she had done her business everywhere, had it all over her. And I said, Dolly, you will never ever have to go in a cage again. And so far we've kept that promise. She is never going in a cage again. But you see, she has found a little place back here that she just loves, and that's what she did the first day I got her. She found something she could get her butt up against, and she stayed there. But now she likes to go on walks. She's a little bit scared. Oh, you see the ears pop up when we talk about walks, don't you? She loves to go on walks, and she is just eager to go on a walk. So anyway, there's my little office area. We got us a TV, it's not on, bathroom, and Dudley the Bulldog has just taken over Dolly's bed, and Dudley is just Dudley. He's kind of shy today too, but this is Dudley the bulldog. Hey, buddy. And he's just a big old love bug. And he is just awesome. But he's just kind of staying out of the heat today because it's very hot here in Texas. And so we're just taking day at a time. You see, I got my world shirt on today because I love to travel. We want to see where we're going next. So we're working slowly on sailing the Moose. She is currently on the hard in Conway, South Carolina, far away from where she would really like to be. And let's get some light on. Let's see if we can get the light in here at the moment. Wait 1 second, I'll be right back. It's not much better anyway. We'll do better videos as we go along. So I had started posting videos, and then I kind of got sidetracked because I had to keep the money flowing and come out here to Texas. And I just can't get away from wanting to be on the sailboat, wanting to be on the go. So we're trying to figure out how to do this. So many people are really just being able to follow their dreams and become content creators. I'm not the greatest at that. I'm going to learn. I'm trying to learn, but it becomes a full-time job doing all the videos and the editing and all of those things that you have to do. But I just wanted to come on and give an update. We're going to try to build some consistency in doing all this so that we can build a community, so you can see what's going on. So many people love the sailboats, and if you're new, the Moose is a one of a kind. Just a little bit of the backstory about the Moose. She was commissioned by a gentleman out of the Midwest, and he bought an entire truckload of mahogany from Honduras, brought it in. He found a plan from one of his friends, Mr. Bueller out of Seattle, Washington. And Mr. Bueller designed and built wooden boats. I mean, these things are phenomenal. And so in 1991, the owner with some friends laid out the design for the Moose on the floor of a gymnasium. And he began the work in 1991 and didn't complete the construction of the Moose until 2007 when she was launched. And I think they were able to use her for a few times, and then he became sick and could not continue. Eventually passed away, unfortunately. And then the Moose was apparently sold to somebody else that really didn't give her the just care that she needed. And she set out at anchor for about 3 years and began to deteriorate. And I found her on YouTube, saw the video of some people showing her, and I said, man, that is such a unique boat. One of the things that I can't stand about a closed, small space is how dark so many sailboats are when you go down below deck. If I'm going to be out on the ocean, I want to see sunlight, bright lights. I want to be out there where we can take it all in and just have, the light of life coming in. So when you walked on the Moose, she was not only was she a pilot houseboat, and if you don't know what a pilot houseboat is, you need to research that, because for me that would be like my number one consideration if I was buying a brand new boat or building another one, is I want a pilot houseboat, because with a pilot house you are completely inside, and you can pilot the boat from inside a completely protected building, basically, or room that's built into the boat, so that you're not outside. And it's great to be outside when the weather's good, but if you're in a bad rainstorm or a windstorm, or if it's cold outside and you're out there shivering and trying to get your boat to where you want it to be while you're in the elements. And so the pilot house really piqued my attention. And so fast forward 2 years later, I had COVID. I was on the couch recovering from COVID, And I said, I wonder if Vamoose is still out there. And sure enough, she was. I made a phone call. The broker said, I think the guy's interested in selling her at a really good price, and so if you want to do it, let me know. I was interested. I should have taken more time probably, because she was really had a lot of things that needed to be done. It wasn't critical that you would need to trash the boat, but there was just a lot of things that needed to be done. I didn't know anything about sailboats. I just had to trust my own eyes, and I felt like I could look through all of the mess that was going on. And long story short, I bought Vamoose. I'll tell more about that later on. And so, bought Vamoose. We tried to get her out of Florida, and things just didn't work out quickly enough to come out of Florida before Hurricane Ian came. And so I was watching when Hurricane Ian decided to pop up, and she was supposed to go to Tampa, and I thought, okay, we're clear, we're good. I'm going to cover my food up here a little bit so the griddle will get hotter. And I watched as Hurricane Ian, we thought she was moving to Tampa, and all of a sudden she curved right into Fort Myers, and my heart sank. I've lost a house in a hurricane, and that was not fun. Thank God for the insurance, but I didn't have insurance on Vamoose because the insurance would not cover her while she was in hurricane waters. And so there was nothing I could do. So we watched, and Hurricane Ian was a Category 4 when she hit, and we were just waiting on pins and needles. A friend of mine that's a great guy, he went with me, or actually before we went, he got out the satellite imagery, and he and my sister and a second cousin of mine were all very resourceful in finding Vamoose. And we saw this little boat down on the mangrove in the corner, and she had 3 windows that he recognized. He said, I think that's Vamoose. So long story short, we went down, he brought his drone, flew it up, and we found Vamoose. She was right in the edge of the mangroves, but there was about a 200-yard bay of water that was only a couple of feet deep. So it was very difficult getting a barge in there to lift her up, get out. More damage was done to her as they were getting her out. We got her on the hard. I was paying $800 a month just to have her in, this salvage storage yard. And I had enough of my own money invested in her. I could not give her up. I just couldn't. I couldn't walk away from her. So somehow I was able to pull off getting her transported to South Carolina, and spent pretty much everything I had, but I couldn't lose that money. I just couldn't. And so Vamoose is now in storage. I've got a deal with a friend of mine that has a warehouse, and we're working out a deal with storage on that. So I'm ready to get Vamoose rehabbed and on the go. I want to do some things with veterans later on when we get her going, and I'll tell you more about that later on. But we just got to save this boat. Originally, the guy spent over $1.5 million from what I can understand. They said he stopped telling his wife at $1 million. So Vamoose was hand-built, custom everything. Every wire in this boat is labeled. I mean, so much thought was put into this boat. I paid nothing like that for Vamoose. Didn't have that kind of money. I paid about 2% of that for her, so you can figure out those numbers, and that was really a stretch even then. So it was a dream. It was a dream. You got to have a dream. If you don't dream, then life is just boring baloney. And you got to dream. Even if they fail, you got to dream. I am not afraid to dream. Part of me wants to rename the boat Caleb's Vision, because I went to seminary as a young man, and Caleb was my favorite character in the Bible. And as the nation of Israel was trying to find their place in the world, they went in and looked at the land, and everybody else said, nah, you can't do it. And Caleb said, oh yes, we can do this. And you can study that story on your own. But so I'm a visionary, and I'm going to have a vision always. I don't care if you put me in a dark cell somewhere, I'm going to find something to be visionary about, because that's just who I am. I've stopped apologizing for that. It is what I am. Some people can't understand it, but I'm going to find something to have a vision about. And so eventually we're probably going to rename the moose to Caleb's Vision, because that's just talks about my heart. And so here we go. So for now, I'm in Houston, Texas, staying in an RV resort. We got hit by another hurricane as soon as I got here. I don't even remember the name of the Hurricane Burl, I think it was, came through. I was staying at this RV resort with canopies. The back row of sites had canopies over them. And I thought, heck, for $5 more a day, let's have a canopy, and that'll take care of some of the heat. And this hurricane came, and it was only supposed to be like a Category 1. And I wasn't really afraid of that. And it was really actually supposed to come in about 50 miles south of Houston, kind of like Hurricane Ian did. It was supposed to, bypass us. It came right into Houston. It seemed stronger, and so a buddy of mine was staying with me, helping to keep Dudley and Dolly, and we said, heck, we're just going to stay in the camper because it's not going to be that bad. Well, you guys, it was horrible. We were in this little camper, and for at least 2 to 3 hours, I mean, it had to be 85, 90 mile an hour winds, and I'm looking out the window thinking, you are an idiot for staying here. And so the camper was holding up, but eventually all the canopies over all of the other sites came loose, and so they were flapping in the wind. And if you've ever popped anybody with a towel, and you hear that pop, that's actually a sonic boom. The end of that towel is going over whatever the speed of sound is, 700 something miles an hour, and that's what causes a mini sonic boom. And so these canopies and the cables that were in them were flapping, and they were hitting my camper. And I was like, oh my gosh, we've got to do something. So when the wind started to die down, I ran out, because I saw other guys out there trying to wrestle with these canopies. I ran out, and I thought, I'm going to put a bear hug on this canopy and just try to tie it off to a pole or something. And let me tell you, and I should have known this, as you see, if you're a sailor and you see the wind get in a sail, there's a lot of power to that. And so my stupid decision, that's the most stupid decision I've made in 35 years probably. That's questionable, but I went out, and this thing was laying on the ground, and I put a bear hug on this canopy that was there, and as soon as I did, a huge wind came up, and that thing picked me up and slammed me down on the ground. My buddy was watching from in the camper, and suddenly I realized the gravity of the situation. The cables on the end of that thing were probably 3 or 4 feet long, and if it flapped in the wind and hit me with those cables, I mean, I could have been very seriously injured. So I'm thinking, okay, back up. So I was watching the end of that canopy, and I'm just backing up on my belly. Backing up, backing up, backing up, backing up. 'Cause my daddy taught me good, and I think maybe I should faint, but I don't. My daddy taught me good. In the mud, the water, and everything, and I said, I've got to get out of here and get back in the camper. So I did. We made it. Camper got hit a few times with the canopies. I really didn't care, because I do have insurance on the camper, and I thought, heck, we'll just file an insurance claim, and it is what it is. And so I made it in. We made it through, and when it was over, you'll see the video in one of my other posts. My site was the only one that had the canopy still on it. All the rest of them were just obliterated by this storm. And I took that as a sign from God to say, look, I'm on your side. You were stupid to go out there and try to wrestle with that thing, but we got good things coming for you. So anyway, here we are in Houston, Texas. You just take the life as it comes. You do what you have to do to make life go. And so come along with me on my adventure, because I promise you, you'll get laughs. You're not going to get bored probably with me unless I'm doing mundane things either on the camper or on the sailboat. Let's just go for a ride, because I don't know where it's going to take us, but we're going to have some fun. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you get a laugh out of me and my adventures. More to come. Talk to you soon. Oh, I forgot. You're supposed to say this as a creator. Like, subscribe, join us on Patreon if you can do it. Buy a t-shirt. We're trying to get some t-shirts going. So anyway, there's the plug. We'll say more about that stuff later on. But please come and just join, follow us, so we can have some fun together. Talk to you soon. I'm on my new sailboat.